Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps, man? So look, there's a lot of people expressing their opinion that this attempt on Al-Kadhimi's life might have secured his second term. Let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that's the truth. Before we get started, hit the thumbs up button, because when you do, it helps us get past the algorithm that YouTube puts on us and keeps us from being shadow banned. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. The disclaimer here is I'm not a financial advisor, a lawyer, or an accountant. The information that I share with you, I do freely. It is of my own opinion. Hey folks, just a quick reminder that back in 2008 and 9, a lot of people lost all of their retirement savings in their 401ks and IRAs because they did not own gold and silver. Yeah, that's right, gold and silver protects you from a market crash. So do yourself a favor, protect your retirement by purchasing gold and silver. You can go to moneymetals.com, reach out to them, and they will help you set yourself up to protect you and your family from having to start all over from scratch. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they will send along with your order a free half ounce of silver. So folks, do yourself a favor, head on over to moneymetals.com and protect you and your family from a market crash, as well as inflation. That's right, head on over to Money Metals when you want to buy gold and silver. Keep in mind, if you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. Hey, right now, a special offer for my audiences only. You have a chance to win 100 free American Silver Eagles. That's over $3,000 in value. And all you have to do is enter your email to win. That's it. That's right, there's no obligations to purchase. The link is down below in the description, so head on over there, enter to win. Yeah, between now and December 31st of this year to enter. The only way you can for sure not win 100 silver American Eagles is by not entering at all. So do yourself a favor and enter your email so you have a chance to win. People keep asking me, where is the link, Pimpy? It's real simple. If you're at my page on YouTube and you're watching any of the videos, any of them, you see the video here and you scroll down, see my name right here? If you go here where it says show more and you click it, here's all the links to the things you have access to. If you want to enter into the competition to win 100 free medals, just click it right here and it'll take you to the website where you can sign up. If you want to buy and own physical gold and silver, just click this link right here and it'll take you to the Money Metals website. And if you're thinking about buying cryptocurrencies, just scroll on down until you see the word Coinbase. Click this and it'll take you over to the website that you can sign up for. So you can buy Shiba, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin. For those of you looking for my address, there it is right here. As everyone is aware of an alternative website, the link is down below in the description. Over here I post original content as well as other videos that have been banned from YouTube. It costs $3 a month to join for unlimited access, and all proceeds go to finding life's purpose. So come on over there and join us. Beware of scammers. That's right, people posing and pretending to be me. How you can tell us apart is real simple. If you post a comment and I respond, you will see a dark circle around my name. See this? It's either gray or black. I won't be sending you to WhatsApp, and I won't be sending you to Telegram or Telegraph or anything like that, nor would I be asking you for money. From time to time, I will be using material that's considered copywritten. I post this just to show that I am exercising my fair use rights. So there are a handful of things going on that are very interesting that we need to cover. One of them is there is some serious problems with the election. And the truth needs to come out one way or the other, good or bad or ugly. It doesn't make a difference. The fact that they're running so many audits. Now, I get it, where you might get these political factions come out and they just don't like the results because they don't want to give up power. That's one thing. But when you have over 2,000 voting stations claiming to have evidence of voter fraud, that's a problem. Now you have the presidents, the three presidents, making a particular statement that does not sound favorable, if you get my drift. We're going to talk about that. So here he goes. Tariq Herb provides a legal opinion on the re-election. Is there going to be a re-election? Legal expert Herb said that who objects to election results do not exceed 2% of the political scene, stressing that there is currently no legal way to repeat the election. So if more or less than 2% of the people reject the election, is that what he's saying? Or object to the election, then we have a re-election? So it's not that much, unless I'm misunderstanding what this guy is saying. Herb said in an interview with my colleague, the elections will not be repeated unless a decision is issued by the new parliament after its meeting, that the new parliament dissolves itself and hold early elections. Now, how many of you think the current government or the newly elected government is going to dissolve itself? Come on now. And this is an unlikely opinion. And this is an unlikely option because the next parliament will not take a step of this kind based on to the objection of a few people who represent no more than 2% of the political scene. Yikes. Herb questions the figures announced by the Shiite Coordination Framework, which talks about reaching 90 seats. Now, these are the Iranian-backed people, the anti-Al-Qadimi people that we're talking about, the Coordination Framework. Who are these and what are their names? He suggests that the Sadr's bloc will be able to form a national majority that includes the highest winners from the Kurdistan, Shiite, and Sunni components. A member of the political bureau of the Yikes movement said in an interview with his colleague, the re-election is one of the biggest democratic manifestations and one of the factors that install confidence between the people and the authorities. A re-election is not going to happen, not unless whatever this investigation is that's going on, for some reason, show us some ridiculous result and really some overwhelming evidence that this election was actually rigged. I don't know if that's going to happen. But just because the people who are Iranian-backed puppets, who are the most corrupt and are afraid of Sadr going after them, are kicking up the most dust. This advisor goes on to say, if fraud is proven, there will be no objections to the re-election. And I get that, I agree. And we have evidence which we may present to the public's opinion if we reach a dead end that will lead to the re-election. We have no problem with the Tor conduct by Sadr with the political blocs, but in the coordinating framework, we said that we will not conduct any negotiations before deciding on the appeals, and the Kurds and the Sunnis share their concerns with us. And they also have evidence, in addition to that, they told us explicitly that they will not ally themselves with any Shiite parties without the other before full consensus within the Shiite house. So here we go. This is what we don't want, this type of turmoil there. We need to hurry up and get the audit done. We need to get them out there, do all the necessary steps that are within the legal framework, and then get to the final results of this particular election. I told you guys when I saw all these new world order countries going there. Now again, it's not that I think that the election was rigged. What my fear was that with these Build Back Better organizations and countries, which are all NWO puppets, running over and volunteering to overwatch this election, my concern was something will go astray, and sure enough it has. So we are still waiting for the results, and it's my understanding those results will come as of tomorrow. Commission a limited and simple change in the results of the stations after a manual recount. A limited and simple change in the results? Let me tell you what's going to happen. If even as much as one seat is changed due to the audit, then the entire election is going to be questioned. They're going to say, wait a minute. So this could cause a lot of issues. What you don't want is civil war. The Election Commission committed today, Wednesday, on the possibility of issuing a decision by the judiciary body that this is currently considering appeals and resort all stations manually, while revealing that there has been a limited change in the results of some stations. Look, I get it if it's within a handful of votes. But you got to question whenever say limited, because what we're finding out here still in our country is we were not told the truth, and the truth is starting to come out. The judicial authority and commission consider all appeals a total of 1,436, and these appeals are not only specialized in manual counting and sorting. Before that, the commission has some time to complete the minutes of appeals. So they have finished not just a handful, but a big chunk of these appeals. Now, what they're talking about is they are concerned enough that they're going to send the results and seek advice on how to move forward. What does that mean? Why do you need to seek advice? Because if it went clean and there was no issues, they would say, look, there's nothing to see here, move along. But the fact you have to seek advice, what are you finding? My guess is most of them came over from China. He went on to say legally the judiciary can issue a decision dismissing appeals or agree to the recommendation of the Board of Commissioners. Then what the hell is the purpose of an appeal if the judiciary can either dismiss the appeals or agree to the recommendations? What happens if they're part of the corrupt system? Then what good is it? I'm not saying that they are. I'm just thinking the way they have this set up. If they get in a situation like we have here in the United States, where you have some activist judges, then it doesn't help you at all. With regards to the files of announcing the names of the winners, he explained, the issue of announcing and approving the names of the winners is awaiting the completion of the judicial body's consideration of appeals. He revealed that there are more than 20 stations in which there was a change in the results after recounting the votes. With a few votes, 5 or less, well, that's not that big of a deal. That's within, I would say, acceptable margin. And they are considered within the corresponding percentage. I'll agree with that. Now, that's one thing if it's just, like I said, a handful of them. But if all of a sudden you're like, this truck driver won this election here in the United States, and then we magically found 12,000 new votes. Yeah, that kind of stuff you don't want. This is the thing that everybody's chopping about right now. Everybody's chiming in on. An economist talks about the government's possibility of returning the dollar to the old price. When they say old price, I don't think they're talking about the $3 rate. In my opinion, is taking it back to the 1,190 dinars for every $1. But I do think it is going to go up in increments. There's been several indications from the news that we read that this is going to happen. The economic expert Mohammed confirmed today, Wednesday, that the Iraq government can return the price of the dollar to the old price to address the rise in the price of the markets. He said in a statement that the government is able to restore the price of the dollar, provided that there is direct control by central banks of sales, operations, and the increase of dollar sales outlets in the local markets, and directly to the citizens and not through the banks that monopolize the dollar and create the market for it. It also controls the price of the market, adding, increasing the price of the dollar is an improvisational decision by some political blocs and the Minister of Finance, who did not rely on raising it gradually, but rather in a sudden manner, and it led to the rise of inflation and the increase in the poverty rate in our country. This is what we talk about. Anytime you devalue the country's currency, it affects the poor people. The purchasing power is lowered. You can't buy as many goods as you used to. The rich can go through anything like this because they have so many of the dollars. The current finance minister bears the responsibility for raising the price of the dollar and its negative consequences for the economy, and he has not achieved any economic development goal for the country at all. I don't know. They were able to pay off a lot of debt really cheap. They should have a surplus from the budget. I'm not so sure that that's true. Solders movement holds an important meeting to discuss the repercussions of the election results. The Solders movement announced on Wednesday that the negotiating committee of the movement held an important meeting with one of the political forces. The Solders movement's media said in a statement received by the news, the negotiation committee of the Solders bloc, who holds an important meeting tomorrow, Thursday at 10 o'clock, with one of the political forces in the headquarters of the Solders movement's political body in the pool area near Vegetable Wave. I want to make sure I'm reading this right. With one of the political forces at the headquarters of the Solders movement's political body in the pool area near the vegetable oil. Okay, I did read it right. Yeah, thank you for those details. So Sauter's jockeying to get things lined up. We'll see. So it says tomorrow the commission will refer all appeals to the electoral judiciary. This is what I'm talking about. Tomorrow we're going to see what's up. The Independent High Electoral Commission in Iraq revealed today, Wednesday, the day of referring all appeals regarding the results of the early parliamentary election to the judiciary. So why isn't the results of the early election already out there? The Electoral Commission will send on Thursday all and the last appeals it has to the judicial authorities for the purpose of resolving them. Whatever decision is issued by the authority will be binding on us and the party submitting the appeals. See, to me that doesn't sound very confident, but it might just be nothing. The judiciary may issue a decision to reopen some stations and recount operations and manual sorting. The matter is up to it. We're going to see. That's all I'm talking about. The Washington Compost writer met Al-Kadhimi in a bombed house. The strike made the second term certain. So this is a writer from the Washington Compost saying that if they thought they can remove Al-Kadhimi, the attempt on his life most likely backfired, because he has drawn a lot of sentiment from all factions out there, each one condemning the other. This is good news in my opinion. Al-Kadhimi is the guy I think that needs to be in there, and he will get Iraq continuing to go on its feet. Now keep in mind, Al-Kadhimi was only in office long enough to finish out the last administration since they bounced out of the way. This time around, if he is officially chosen, he will do a 4-year term. 4 years with Al-Kadhimi. This is going to be interesting to watch, that's for sure. So they're saying if they thought they can scare Al-Kadhimi or get him removed by assassinating or scaring him, it's not going to work. If anything, what this done is it guarantees Al-Kadhimi a second term. We will see. So the United States responded by saying Al-Kadhimi's targeting is an attack on Iraq's sovereignty and stability, which is not what we want for those of us who hold on to the dinar. This article I found kind of interesting. The statement of the 3 presidencies describing the election results as objective upsets the balance of positions? What? A statement issued by the meeting of the 3 presidencies with political force sparked controversy after describing the results as objective at the time when the commission ended the manual counting process without changing the results. Yeah, calling it objective is exactly not a statement of confidence. A political analyst and researcher said in a tweet that the meeting of the presidencies of the Republic, the presidencies of the judiciary, and the prime minister with the political bloc that reject the election results to issue such a statement in the format means that the 3 presidencies of Iraq are also floundering and entered the stage of political wandering. A meeting was held on Monday evening between the forces of the coordination framework and each of the presidents of the Republic, ministers, and Supreme Judicial Council, calling for the media and security calm, with the continuation of political dialogue to get out of the current crisis. Absent from the meeting, important parties, including the former parliament and parties rejecting the election results, which turns its outcome into ink on paper, according to the analysts. In fact, political sources to the news communication with them consider the meeting window to a way out of the crisis, not by imposing an entitlement, but rather by appeasing the parties dissatisfied with their elections. The Sauders movement that won the election and was convinced of its results. A source told the media that the media of the political forces opposing the election results with the 3 presidencies did not offer real solutions to the political reality, and that the Sauders bloc is the largest, therefore it is the one that nominates the prime minister. Yeah, I think Al-Kadhimi's in there. He has a blessing in most all people, except for Maliki, because it went after Maliki before. This is another one of those headlines. I was like, what the heck? An agreement to arrest 3 involved in bombing of Al-Kadhimi's house in exchange for the trial of those responsible for killing the protesters. So the fact that you have to sit down and negotiate the snitching on people. Look, I'm going to go ahead and give you the 3 guys that try to kill Al-Qademi. But you need to give up the names of those who shot back at the protesters. Deal. Give me a handshake. Okay, there you go. It's like, what are you negotiating? If crimes are being committed, people need to be accountable for those. But the fact that it said an agreement to arrest 3 involved in the bombing of Al-Qademi's house in exchange for something, that's crazy. So I love the fact that Al-Qademi most likely is going to go ahead and serve another term. But I'm curious to see how things are going to turn out from these appeals. What are we going to learn? I told you, with all these organizations and countries circle jerking each other off and patting each other on the back about what a great election they oversaw, if somehow, some way we find out that there was a ton of fraud, it's going to reflect so badly on these people. It really is. Now, I prefer it to be where it is. I like to see Al-Qademi get back in there. I really do believe he's done a lot in such a short period of time. I like to see him continue that. But also, I'm curious because we're seeing this happen in a lot of countries in which the people are voting one way and the results are coming out another. We can firsthand identify with that. You really want the people's vote to matter, whether you agree with it or not. They are the people that voted. It's their vote that matters most. And you know what? You have to abide by what they say. That is the rule of law. And it should be that way everywhere, obviously. So if the Sauder people was not voted in by the people, well, then get the truth out. But then also, when you're done, go after those individuals who should be accountable for what happened. That needs to happen everywhere, and including here in the United States. Anyway, so far so good. Al-Qademi is alive. It looks like he is a shoo-in for a second term. We're going to get to the bottom of things, and then we're going to hear the results of the election. So this next week, not now, but next week coming up, it's going to be a really interesting week in Iraq. That's it for now. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because what you do helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll talk to you later. I'm out.